My name is Hassan Saneh from Waterloo, Ontario, Canada, and this is my CS50P final project. I grew up in the 1980s playing text adventure games like Zork on the Commodore 64. Today, I'm bringing back the magic with a Python game. My game takes place in the Dunder, Mifflin, Scranton branch from the TV show The Office. Your mission is to explore the office, talk to the employees, survive actual pitfalls like a bouncy castle, and rescue Angela's cat. I used Python to write the game, with the locations and actions in a text file. That way, I can write a new story in the future without changing the code. So you could call my project a general-purpose text adventure game engine. As the player, you type in commands, and the game responds. You are always in a room, which represents a location, such as reception or Michael's office, and you travel between rooms using commands like north and south. Travel is not necessarily bidirectional, which allows obstacles like locked doors, puzzles, and getting lost in a maze. You interact with characters and objects in the room with commands like talk to Pam and use copier. If more than one response is possible, the game will choose one at random, but in a way to avoid too much repetition. Not all commands work everywhere. You can read the whiteboard only in the conference room. Some commands respond differently by room. In the hallway, pressing the button calls the elevator, but in the warehouse, it activates the baler. There are also default responses that apply everywhere. Some rooms are not physical locations, but temporary states, like a sugar crash from eating Michael's pretzel. It looks like you are still in Michael's office, but the code has you in this other room called Sugar Crash, and you'll stay there until you figure out how to leave. Now, implementation details. When the game is launched, it populates the text file into a Python dictionary. I kept it simple so even a writer without technical expertise can write a story. I don't require delimiters or escape codes or enclosing text in quotes, because this often leads to human error. So every line is a string with a markup. If a line starts with a hashtag, it's the name of the room. Below each room is a list of commands separated by a blank line and ending in a colon. Below each command is a list of responses, like moving to another room or displaying text. I allow synonyms, multi-paragraph text, default actions, game over, errors, displaying room name, and a description of the room. After reading in the dictionary, we enter the main game loop. The player enters a command, the game displays a response, and this repeats over and over until the game ends. In the future, I would like to add the ability to pick up objects and carry them around, so the game can respond differently depending on the player's inventory. I would also like to create a scoring system with achievements and unlockables. The player could win a black belt for defeating Dwight at the dojo, or a Dundee Award for negotiating a win-win-win resolution by successfully mediating a conflict at work.